In this video, I'm going to break down one of Deadmau5's most beautiful and satisfying melodies from his song called The Verb. This song was one of those legendary songs that helped blow up EDM into the mainstream back in 2011. And today, I'm going to show you the 4 key things that I think helped make this melody so catchy and special so that you can apply these things to your own music and make some catchy and special music as well. Before we jump into the 4 keys, we have to make this beautiful melody first. And this melody is an 8-bar melody. And to make this melody, I'm just going to use an EDM pad. You can make this with any synth in the world. It's super simple. I'm going to use XFER Serum. I'm going to initialize the preset, make sure I have a sawtooth wave loaded up on one oscillator. I'm going to turn on the filter here, tighten it up a bit so it reads 24, and we'll get this mesmerizing sound. It's the best sound in the world. This melody has 3 lines to it. I'm going to start off with the main line of the melody, which is the middle line. It starts on this G sharp and uses a variety of different movements. It sounds like this. It's kind of bland, but watch when we bring it together with the bass line, which is the second line of the melody. This bass line kind of follows the notes and movement of the melody. And we get one of the catchiest, most beautiful harmonies. Doesn't that just bring you back to Nostalgia Town? Now, to reduce repetition, what he did is he took this part of the melody and made it 8 bars long and changed some things on the second half to reduce repetition. Then we get this. Isn't that so nice? Now I'm going to show you the first key thing that helped make this melody so catchy. And that is this pedal tone here on the E note that just rides the E until we get to this note here and jumps up to that F sharp and then back down to the E. And then this happens over the duration of the entire 8 bars. And the significance of this pedal tone is that it is 5 steps above the tonic, which is the A key. This melody is in A major. And when you have a few perfect fifth intervals laid into your melody like this, you get a beautiful sound. So isn't that beautiful? Do you think that's as nice as I think it is? Now this melody doesn't actually play this sound. It plays what I used to call the Deadmau5 pluck, which is really just a synth pluck. I'm going to go into the synth. I'm going to grab LFO1 and just drag it to the right side of this cutoff knob. I'm going to close it a little bit. And if we play it, I'm going to make this a rate of 1/8. So it plays 8th notes, which is 8 triggers per bar. I'm going to move this point to the front of the thing. I'm going to pull this up. And find where I like it. I'm going to go back to oscillator A and stuff it with some unison. And undetune it. Now we arrived at the second key thing that I think helped make this melody so good. And this is where things get really, really cool. This key thing is ear candy. Or in other words, it's how he dressed up the atmosphere with really cool sounds that just put you in a place. Open up your synth of choice and draw in or load up a little pulse wave like this. It's a very simple wave. Any synth can make it. Turn on the filter, tighten it up a little bit, loosen the attack a little. Give it some release, and then throw a whole bunch of reverb on it and delay. and play this sound on the A note, but the second and fourth quarter note of each bar. Remember that the A is the tonic. Anything that plays that note over and over is going to sound pretty good. But the ear candy doesn't end there. I want you to duplicate this sound now. Make another region. Open up your piano roll. We're going to go real high for this one. On this E note. Stretch it out like that. It's like 4 bars long. Open our synth, and we're going to make this attack really long. And then this release really long. I'm going to turn on a second oscillator, this time using a saw wave, and I'm going to turn it down a little and put it down an octave. And then we get that eerie sound. It doesn't end there though. There was another sound that took me hours to make, so I can't make it on video, but it's this very windy sort of. I also downloaded this cool sound from Splice. Splice is a sample library that I love. We get this sound. Isn't that beautiful? Like, I don't think a lot of people realize how much of an atmospheric masterpiece that this song even is. But it doesn't end there. We have 2 more keys that I think made this melody so good, and the next key is layers. Deadmau5, like other big names in the industry, use a lot of layers, or at least he used to. I don't know if he still does. And the first layer, I think, is if we take this pedal tone, duplicate our Deadmau5 pluck, and simply double down on this pedal tone to kind of bring it out a little. Hear how it's like there more? I think he does that in the real song. But he also takes the main melody and copies the exact notes on a piano layer. I'm going to use a piano called the Giant from Native Instruments, and it sounds like this. The next layer is that he takes this middle line and puts it on its own sound. That sound is nowhere close to the original, but it's close. And then the last layer is this bottom line of the melody now on its own layer, playing the bass. So to recap, we have a 3-line melody. Each line gets its own sound. Plus you have the master sound, which is the Deadmau5 pluck that plays all the notes at once. Now we have arrived at the last thing that I think helped make this melody so good, and that is counter art melodies. And this is something we see with a lot of artists similar to him. Here's the sound we're going to use. That's the Deadmau5 pluck, but I opened the filter and made it a little brighter. Plays these trickling eighth notes. Like this, and then loops every 4 bars, and it plays in perfect rhythm with the main melody. But that's it. Pedal tones, layers, atmospheres, and counter melodies, and obviously the melody being really good itself are why I think this melody was so good. That's a video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about designing sounds just like this that you can use to make your own productions really cool, come join me in my EDM Bootcamp course that is linked at the top of the description below. My EDM Bootcamp course teaches every element of music production and also comes with access to my private Discord group. This is where you can ask me any music production question that you would like and also share your songs for feedback. If this sounds like something of interest to you, like I said, there is a link at the top of the description below, and I will see you in there. As always, stay tuned for the next video lesson.